There's a lot to be back. Yeah. Wow, I didn't thought about that happening. I don't know, we'll see which one's the best. Years, would you get in?
Yeah,
Okay.
what's that?
To keep it for you before you.
Yeah. Charge the rent, I guess. What's that slide big pointers up on the Tom's Square?
That's an idiot, that one. Because he. Very scientists, when you look at the, it's a really one, and it's still, that's the, this is the.
Waited a little bit longer. Well, they poured it. They waited till in the middle of winter almost to pour it.
Well, because we didn't get the grant, we just got the grant. Oh, yeah, 70,000.
7. Not sure, or is it just so it's given. Good. All right, good morning, everybody. Call the meeting to order. Office Dan's running late if he's even coming. We'll just start with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the ancestors whose lands we now share. And I can move to 2.0, adoption of the agenda. There's been a couple of additions on page 2. There's nothing else. We could motion to accept the agenda with the additions. Councillor Halviski, all in favor? Galen, I'm just going to call you in favor unless I hear different.
Sounds good.
3.0 is adoption of minutes from our last meeting, 23rd of September. Any discussion arising out of those? Any errors, corrections? Hearing none, I'll get a motion to, okay, Councillor Fees. All in favor? It's carried. The delegation coming up 9:45. So we can skip down to policies. Number 5. We have 2 verbal reports on policies. The first one, item A, progressive discipline policy. I guess there is no, it's just a verbal.
Yeah, so Sheree, our safety coordinator. So project coordinator. Did a lot of hard work on this, so I'm gonna. Let her.
Yeah, I'll just hand out the policies that I would like to rescind, along with the new ones that I'm proposing. So I guess I can let you just pass those down. Made little packages for you guys to make it easy.
So people won't be able to see this, I guess.
Yeah.
I do have a summary that I'll go over, so she'll be able to hear the summary as well.
Sure.
Sure, you've got them saved over.
Yeah, I could send them. Well, the policies that I would like to rescind are in the F drive in the policies folder, the sign. So that's the harassment and bullying. And then the progressive discipline policy.
And you have drafts or your Christmas. Or is that other ones there?
I have, I'm rescinding those, and then I have.
I'm
Policy.
okay. I'm okay with just the summary. You can send it to me later. I can get it later. It's okay. I trust you'll give me a good enough summary.
Okay, perfect. So if you all have those documents now, I'll just go over the summary because there's quite a few pages there for each of those, so I'm not going to make you read that whole thing. But the policies that I am proposing to rescind are the harassment and bullying and the progressive discipline policy. These policies will be replaced with the policies from our new health and safety program, violence and harassment, and coaching and enforcement are the new ones. The new policies are in full compliance with the OHS legislation. They contain all relevant information for any level of staff and are easily accessible to all employees being within the program itself, which is located in both the F drive and the platform site docs, which is readily available on all employees' phones. The reason for replacing the policies are as follows. The harassment and bullying policy does not include violence. So part 27 of the OHS code, violence and harassment, indicates that violence and harassment are considered hazards. Therefore, an employer must develop and implement a violence prevention plan that includes policy and procedures. The new policy that I'm presenting from our new OHS program includes violence in both the policy and the procedures and is titled Violence and Harassment Policy. Additionally, the requirement of harassment prevention procedures under section 390.4 of the OHS code are greatly detailed within the violence and harassment policy. This not only ensures regulatory compliance, but also allows anyone within the County of Northern Lights to easily interpret definitions and understand their responsibilities and the procedures. Okay. To enhance efficiency and to leave little room for misinterpretation or error, I have also included relevant information from the AUPE collective agreement in both the violence and harassment policy and the discipline policy titled Coaching and Enforcement. That way, rather than having to look at the policy and then go and look at the collective agreement, all relevant information is just right there at your fingertips. The coaching and enforcement policy contains significantly more information than the progressive discipline policy, allowing the reader to fully understand the severity of the consequences based off the formula rather than leaving room for interpretation, which could present complications further down the line. However, management still has the discretion to adapt this process, including the ability to combine or skip steps based on the specifics of each case and the severity of the offense following the AUPE collective agreement and this policy's procedure. Although the title is Coaching and Enforcement, it is just as progressive as the original policy, following the same disciplinary actions. Adding coaching, however, aids in holding individuals accountable, as education is the first stage in setting workers up for success. Without first knowing the rules, it cannot be expected that a person will abide by them. As a reminder, the OHS program as a whole has previously been approved by council. Due to health and safety program being a living document, as monitoring and improvements are pivotal within such a program. These policies are signed by senior management as required. These policies are located in the policy folder within the OHS program. As mentioned previously, the OHS program is in both the F drive and site docs to ensure quick and easy access to both office staff and field workers. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
It sounds really good, but I need more time to go through them. Yeah.
Understand that? Okay.
Maybe just some background, if I may, Chief. So this is more replacement of, so the existing, it's already approved, the existing one, as in the one that's replacing the ones that we want rescinded. The only thing that we want out of this is for council to rescind the two policies that's sort of a duplication, but they're also contradicting to each other. So we're rescinding the older versions, and the newer versions that's already been adopted by council.
Oh, we have, I don't remember seeing these before, coaching and enforcement.
Yeah.
When we did the safety program.
Yeah, so these are included in the health and safety program. We have many policies within that program to abide by OHS legislation. But it was addicting because we already had these two older policies in a different part of our F drive. So we had some people pulling this older policy and reviewing it with the workers. And then we had some personnel who were reviewing the newer ones. So rather than having two in two separate locations, we want to rescind the old ones, which are also slightly outdated. They're not in full compliance with the OHS legislation. And there's some terminology in there that's incorrect too, like for instance, there's safety and payroll. Well, that's no longer. So these are the updated full compliance versions. The stages and the procedure, they don't vary much. They're very similar to the original.
I'm gonna have different names.
Yes, they have different names. I mean, we could change them to the same name, but I thought it would be easier to have different titles so that if I'm explaining the progressive disciplinary policy versus the coaching and enforcement, it would be easier to decipher between the two.
So we want to extend harassment and bullying policy and progressive distance policy.
That's correct.
If there's no objection, I'll make that motion.
So, any further discussion? So,
So do we have to say with replace them with these ones that we haven't even looked at?
They're already approved by council.
the safety.
Yeah.
The same.
So Sheree, will you be renaming it coaching enforcement, or will you stick with the progressive discipline policy?
If you would like me to name it progressive discipline policy, I can.
No, I wasn't. sure.
Otherwise, I will just stick with the coaching and enforcement.
And then just now these policies.
And then the safety.
You know, they're already in place and
Yes.
stuff.
It'll become violence and harassment policy there. Makes sense. Any other questions? Galen, I guess. I don't know if you can hear all the discussion, but we're just basically rescinding a couple of outdated policies and replacing them with some modernized ones and kind of retitling them.
Yeah, I think it was a really good summary. Thank you. And I'm totally on board. Let's make this less complicated than it is.
Great, thank you.
All right, if see no further questions, call for the vote. All in favor? That's carried. I'm sure.
Thank you.
Okay, we can move down to 6.1.1. Item A is invitation to the grand opening of the Aurora Place, the Del Air Lodge edition. So I guess Don Good must be the chair.
He's
Galen?
he's the communication guy.
Communication, he reached out to me to see if I could bring greetings. I said, absolutely, I will be honored to go there and do that on behalf of council, so I will be attending.
I'll be attending.
Linda? Pardon me? No,
No, not me. I have another meeting scheduled with these servers already.
Gary?
No.
That's a long ways to go for 15 minutes, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, Linda already told.
Yes.
She's like, yes, no, smile. I'll make sure the mileage and the cost for us as a council.
That's what, oh,
Well, they'll probably keep me more than.
no, this whole. So Caleb, I imagine you're still under rest yet, so you won't be coming?
Yeah, I can't legally drive, so I won't be there. But I'm being really excited to see as many of you attend as possible. It's really exciting for the foundation. It's been a long time coming, and I think it's a really beautiful facility. So I hope if you can go, and it will be great.
I remember the day well, 5 years ago, I was in Edmonton when they announced the funding for it. I thought, oh, right on. It didn't go that fast, but they did run into some problems with soil conditions and change of scopes and stuff, but, so anyway, we'll Brent, myself, attend.
Awesome.
And you're a maybe?
Yeah, let me be a maybe.
Yeah, if you show up. Fine, if
You
not,
don't have to pay.
I can
Right.
make a motion if you want Terry to send
Okay,
whoever's
thanks.
available.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Item B is the Peace Regional Mental Health Task Force terms of reference.
Yeah, so I can speak to that one if you want, Terry, since I sent it. So our committee has really lacked, I guess, structure in the form of the way we conduct our minutes and our terms of reference. They haven't been updated in some time. So with counselors changing and the role of the committee a little more defined now, we've decided that we needed to update our terms of reference and really solidify those actions. When we reached out to all the municipalities about how they felt about the continuation of the committee and things, some of the feedback we heard was that there wasn't a lot of communication from the committee, given that our meetings were held in closed session, just due to the nature of personal stories and names and things that we didn't really want out. So now we've kind of changed how we done our minutes, and we're going to do a monthly report on the minutes back to the council. So hopefully you guys can see a little bit more action and things. But there was a lot of work put into these terms of reference, and I think they're pretty all encompassing of the committee now, and hopefully we can get approval and proceed.
Is what, do you need anything from council that,
Just a motion saying that you support the terms of reference, and then if there's any comments or no comments, that's fine.
you know, they look pretty standard to me.
Yeah, we did add a few more positions on the committee. We didn't have Indigenous communities on there before, so that membership is new. And I think we added the Village of Berwyn since we first started the committee. And then, yeah, just like I said, like a little bit on the minutes and reporting, instead of doing that stakeholder engagement newsletter quarterly, we're going to produce approved minutes. And then anything that's in camera, obviously we can share in camera to councils for what's pertinent.
Yeah,
I have a question. I don't see the town of Manning on this. Are they not part of this region?
They are
Yes.
not. They are not. No, it was mostly based out of Peace River and the supports to Peace River directly.
Okay, Councillor Decker moves that we annul receipt of the mental health task force terms of reference and approved. It's right there, okay. Okay, any questions? All in favor? Carried. Thanks, Galen.
Thanks, council.
Item C is the rental of the county, we call it the doctor house, I actually call it the healthcare worker house because we're not limiting it to doctors, but that's fine, we know what the house you're talking about, so if you wanna just run through what your what's on your mind with that?
So Dr. Capon is assessing a doctor coming in that's gonna be placed somewhere in another community, which you can't do the assessment in the community that you're actually working afterwards. And like we did beginning of the year, last year.
Spring.
No?
Yes.
Yeah, so they will be renting the house for 3 months. And the money that we get from that, we will help and offset against the doctors the locums coming in that will be staying in one of the guest houses in town.
Yeah, and the doctor that's being assessed, just to be clear, they pay out of their own
They
pocket.
pay out of their own pocket $10,500.
In which the last one was, I have no issue with that, they're fully furnished, ready to go.
The same with this one.
Yeah.
She's also happy with that.
Yeah.
And
so
it's
that-
close to the hospital. That's what
that's
the most important, especially with winter coming up.
Yeah, so any locum coverage required, they'll just stay at the maze or wherever else they typically stay.
You've pre-booked in there.
Yeah.
Arrangements for me.
Perfect. Okay, any questions on that?
They're not a kilo.
That's Betty Day. I think that's what she calls her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, they like it there, other than the fact that they have to drive to the hospital or a long walk. Okay, well, we'll have a motion to acknowledge receipt of the Dr. House report. Approve the recommendation. Okay, Gary, Council Feast, all in favor? Linda, you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I was writing.
Item D is the fire department open house, which is already come and gone.
Did anybody attend the motion?
Yeah, so who did attend? Gary, did you did?
Okay.
And Caleb? I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked. I noticed in our paper that all the fire department was there, but not either there. You know, they have pictures of all of Ireland. Firefighters, my family.
Great, we're just looking for a motion to approve Brendan Kalen's attendance.
I'll make.
I did not attend.
Oh, so Brendan, you're the,
Yeah, that was surgery day.
Oh, okay, I thought you went to that and then in the hospital.
No, didn't make that one, unfortunately.
okay, so we have a motion by Councilor Halabrisky. All in favor? Carried.
Just one second, that
Is our delegation coming virtually or are we gonna be in person?
You're coming, in person, but I think it's 9:40.
It is 9:45. I just heard somebody bring it over or that was on.
They're driving in from Peace.
Item E is Mascoma Medical Center looking for a letter of support.
The chair, we've done a letter of support for them before. I don't know if we can reissue the same letter, but
We did it.
Yeah,
I know we had a presentation. I wasn't sure if it did something.
I think that was probably just a general request they sent out again. Maybe check where hasn't given them a letter or
So maybe just
to keep
to
them.
blanket everybody.
Yeah, that's what I think happened.
Pretty amazing. Kaylin, you were over there for your surgery?
I was just gonna say, it's incredible what they got going on over there already.
Yeah, they really got at it. I mean, that shows you, when you put your mind to it, you can get things done. And like, they just put shovels in the ground like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. That was my question though, is I thought that we sent a letter of support after they come and presented. So glad to hear we did that.
Yeah, so we'll just accept this for information then.
Sure, I can make that motion, Terry, if you'd like.
Yep, okay, all in favor? Carried. Item E is the Dixonville Library 15th anniversary.
Yeah, this kind of came off of, just a couple weeks ago, I was on the Life Club meeting and library, just let us know what they were doing and stuff, so. Apparently it's on Saturday and I would like to attend and I think, it'd be nice to take a card and maybe some flowers. As a, as a gift for memory.
So what, is the question, I've heard since the school closed, how does that work with the library there? Who's paying the bills for them to stay open?
They, the Peace River School Division has the building until December 31st,
And then
so they'll be there until
Right.
December sometime.
Right. And then we're planning out the letter.
And then I guess decide after, the Charter School Society did send in their application and should hear back. Like, they're supposed to know in 90 days, so that'll be like December 15th. So, but hopefully they'll hear long before that. Whether they can operate as a charter school or not, and then that'll kind of determine the school building.
Because I'm just thinking the library could be in a shaky.
Right,
out there with the-
yeah, I think they're a little concerned about that, they're not sure what they're gonna do.
Dealing with,
What's that?
we've been dealing with you, with trying to get it going to see if we'll be able to have it because Peace Library System won't pay any rent or anything for that, so it should be.
Oh. So with the charter school, they are gonna come and do a presentation of council possibly in November, I'm not sure. After the election. And just give council an update.
Not just an update, not really looking for any. Maybe
Not at
support.
this point, because right now with, like, we don't know what's gonna happen with the building, it'll go back to Alberta Infrastructure, but whether they'll just pass it over to the society or. There was mention of having someone else look after it, like the county, or. Another society, like the Lumber
Like-
Club.
The society or
It's
something.
friends and great. So, we're just kind of waiting, like, in limbo on what's gonna happen there. We did get a letter from, information, I should say, from, Hugh Dan's office, William's office about, from infrastructure and saying that, just from my point of view, I guess, reading the letter for the update on that, it sounds like it's possible that they may just offer it to the society. Take over, so that would be the smoothest.
Yeah,
If that happens, but I guess, we won't know until we actually get. Notification that we can,
actually
great,
be a charter school.
right, so
So
we're
what,
waiting on that first.
so if that's approved, you say into December or mid-December, whenever that 90 days is. Would they, I mean, I know this is off the topic, but I'm just curious. Would they try and start the school year in January or would they just wait until September?
No, we can't start it until, September next year.
Yeah. So the building will sit vacant until when at the best?
Yeah, I guess once they're approved, then, they can go ahead and hire, I should say I'm helping them. They, can hire a superintendent and then get the ball rolling on the school. Order things and get the funding and all that.
Will
It
it,
probably needs until September to get organized.
Yes, yeah,
Sort of,
yeah, so will they be able to keep it open because, you know, the heat and stuff, somebody else to be paying for that, right?
right,
So how do we?
yeah, we won't know until we.
yeah,
Like, we're kind of waiting
Yeah,
on
like,
the provincial government.
it's just because of the library, we're gonna have to move it or something.
yeah, that's,
That's the
Right.
part that we were hoping wouldn't happen.
Right. Oh, it'd be nice if we could hear something maybe even in November and then,
Yeah,
go from there. Because if the charter school goes ahead and is able to keep the building or use that building, then the library won't happen.
yeah, I guess
There's also play school there.
yeah,
could be tough, like I said, if the charter school doesn't go ahead and if it does go ahead. There's gonna be that gap there that.
That's right, that time.
I think everybody was hoping that if it is turned over, then just doing some way to pay the, you know, heating and stuff so that the library could stay open.
That might be. When the delegation comes to the new council.
Yeah, we're
or the-
hoping like when they do comes, then maybe we'll have more news.
I mean, it'd be nice to know what. Just thinking ahead of, see what would it actually cost the library to keep the heat on and the lights on. Until the charter school, if they're approved. Until they actually are in there, cause I mean, the charter school probably doesn't have any funds either, they'll get a grant, but
No,
per student, they get a grant, won't they?
Yeah.
But not till September
you
probably.
get a startup, no, I think they'll get funding earlier, like in the new year,
Yeah.
so they can start ordering furniture and.
Well, just the utilities and all of it.
And that,
So,
yeah, so there's a little, gap there, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe we'll know by know more by, by the time we do the presentation, try and find out more information.
Okay, so somebody prepared to make a motion to acknowledge anniversary, and we'll send Deputy Reeve Okay, Councillor Declan has made that motion, all in favor? Carried. We've still got 15 minutes before our delegation, if we're on time, so we can move down to 6.1.2, item A is the CEO report.
Thank you, Jake. So, yeah, my flights are booked. I am going a little bit earlier this year just because it's my son's graduation. After funding him for 6 years, it's going to be a big celebration, I promise you that. I will, however, attend the budget meetings because that's normally early meetings in the morning, so we just after lunchtime is over there, so I will be able to do Zoom meet for those ones. Just to make sure Josh doesn't put some stuff in there that's not really. I went to the school opening. Geez, that was very well attended. Then I gave some good words there from the county. It was actually amazing how many people there was. It was really good. We had our first round of elections, the advance polls, results, and the team did a real good job there. And so coming Saturday, it's the second advance polls, and then Monday, it's the big one. So
What is the second advance?
18.
Saturday.
I'm just wondering, because I know some people have told me about this person, one that's running for council. He took a picture of and it says, no, you're not supposed to do this. Took a picture of the ballot, like, why did you, that's not right. I don't think anybody should do that. It was on Facebook. I mean, I don't care, to me, that's.
Yeah,
Very close to politically.
it's unfortunate that he chose to do that. You are not supposed to use your cell phone in a polling station. And there's signs everywhere. And the reason for that is because legislation says that in Canada, being a democratic society, we value the secrecy of the vote. And so that makes people feel safe. But when I was shown the picture on Facebook, he did not actually show where he made the X. At least I couldn't see it from the clip that person gave me. It's unfortunate that a voter felt they needed to, issues could say go against law. And especially a candidate, that is unfortunate. But unless a civilian, unless an elector actually writes to the commissioner and can prove under the code of legislation that it was influential or like bribery, that type of thing. There's a certain wording in the Municipal Elections Act. This is the way she sent me.
Would that be considered a spoiled ballot then?
No, because it doesn't have the person's name.
You didn't mark it, you didn't show it marked.
Yeah, he didn't show it marked. So on here, are you able to? So voting shall be by secret ballot, and it is an offense for an elector to show the elector's ballot to any person so as to allow the elector's vote to be known. So although he should not have taken the picture, there was no, at least I couldn't see where he actually marked the ballot. So no person shall print or distribute. Distributing is the fact that taking the photo and distributing it on Facebook, right? To cause or be printed or distributed, Heisman handbill, and so on and so on. I'll let you read that. Because again, the maintaining the secrecy of the vote at the voting station is an absolute priority in our country, right? The penalties and processes have also been included. And I believe that the electorate has to actually write a letter to the commissioner. So there's not really a lot that I can do, and when I look at this, of course, as we know with legislation, sometimes it's very gray. But although I feel that it was not a wise decision, because it didn't put an X on there, at least show that part. I don't know if it's fully 100% into this. But it's just, again, you know, we have a privilege in this country to come and vote and to be a voice. And it's disheartening. We've never really had a problem in elections. We've never had people standing there yelling and vote, campaigning at the voting station, which also is not allowed. We've had some really good elections, and so. But at the end of the day, the electorate wants the person, well, that's their choice.
I mean, that clearly that section 148. Part 5. And then that's. He went against that, obviously, but
So,
is there consequences? I guess not.
I mean, the fine, there was one for 500, there's one for 5,000, and then it just increases depending on the severity, right? So again, that's all up to the commissioner.
I mean, that's. The fine is not gonna solve anything. It's just. This person that wants to be a candidate for the council for the municipality and. He really doesn't understand the violating the elections.
Yeah, but on the good side, we had a wonderful day. We had over 68 people come up to the north and another 30 some down to the south, and the word was out there, and people came, and even the Peaceful School Division that showed up, they had 47, I think, which was absolutely fantastic for them.
So are they gonna have polling stations at all ours?
They're going to try to get enough people to attend all of them.
Right.
Like their Ward 3 goes up to Hawk Hills and then down to Peace River, right? They weren't able to have enough people to do Lawrenceville on Thursday, but they will on the 18th, will be in both places.
But it'll be a
And on Monday, I'm pretty sure Chris is trying to get enough people so that they can.
each station.
Yeah.
If they don't, then we can come to whatever polling
Yeah, you
station.
can go to whatever polling station because
As long as you're in that district.
yes, Peace River School Division, their Ward 3 is huge,
Yeah.
right? And so. And they weren't, we've never had 7 voting stations in like all the time I've been here, right? So she was short staff, yeah.
Okay.
Carry on. And then I just want to thank council for your service to the county, trusting me. Those that got a claim, congratulations. The ones that's running, good luck. I know I've worked with a few councils in my life, and the commitment from you guys are really good. So if you don't get re-elected, just know that it is noticed, especially from my side. Yep, that's my report.
Well, I think no item 5.0 will.
It helped out. Yeah. Now I'm open to pictures afterwards with my elbow.
Freezer will be full.
No, you waited until the only day I was out of town. God,
I had my wife there, good luck.
It's that.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on the CEO report? None, I'll get a motion to accept it. Thank you, Councillor Reese. All in favor? Carried. Let's back up on the agenda. I think our delegation is here. We'll keep you waiting. So if you want to come up to the delegation table. You have the PowerPoint?
Not sure I have enough, but
So actually, you know, we have a problem, but we can. Well, good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
Thanks for making us drive up and.
Beautiful morning.
We'll get our PowerPoint ready here. There will just
Sure.
be screens in front of us, behind me. And plus you gave us one, so you're no excuses not to follow along. So while we're getting it ready, let's just do an introduction to council. So I'll start with my far left here.
Hi, I'm Gary Tays, Ward 1.
Hi, Brenda Usinski, Dixonville, Chinook Valley, Ward 3.
Hi, Lori Decken, Ward 5, North Star Breaking Point.
Good morning, Terry Ungarian, Ward 6, Hotchkiss, Hot Hills.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Gary speaking, I'm the CEO. Welcome.
Teresa Tupper, Executive Assistant and Recording Secretary.
Brent Reese, David, saying that on.
And we have one councillor online this morning, that Kevin.
Hi, Kaylin Shug. I represent Warrensville, La Cornell area. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have city administration in the room as well.
Josh Hunter, Director of Finance. Charles Schwab, Director of Public Works.
Okay, so I can turn it over to you, you can introduce yourselves and give us your presentation.
All right, great. I'm Donna Dom. I'm chairperson of the Peace River Community Soup Kitchen in Peace River area, and this is Rose Gish, who is our financial person. She does all the treasury work and lots of other work as well. So we'd like to thank you for the opportunity to make a presentation to the Council of Northern Lights. We really do appreciate that that you've given us this opportunity. I know it's a busy time of year, and especially with elections coming up, that there are lots of other considerations for all of you. So thank you for that. Just a little background on the Peace River Community Soup Kitchen. We're a nonprofit, completely volunteer-run organization. And we serve food to adults, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, children and families, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon throughout the year. And we operate most all weeks. There are a few statutory holidays that we are not open, but generally it's most every week throughout the calendar year. Our clients tend to be people who are facing some food insecurity throughout our entire region, but everyone is welcome, and we do make a point of welcoming lots of other people there as well. Just to give you an idea on some of our numbers, so far in 2025, up until the end of August, we've served 2,939 meals. And just to give you some idea on the comparison to 2024, that same period we served 2,660 meals. So our clientele numbers are definitely up. And that, of course, does increase our operational costs as well. We recognize that County of Northern Lights, your commitment to humanitarian services in our region. And again, we thank you for your generous donation last year for our operational costs for 2025. And we are respectfully requesting a donation for 2026 and our operational costs there. So I'll turn it over to Rose.
Yeah, so our operational costs per year are about $19,000. We have gone from, in years past, we've used restaurants, but after the pandemic, their costs increased, our costs obviously increased, and so we had made the switch to get the Sagatawa Friendship Center to make us the meals. So they purchased the food
locally and then offer it to us at a more reasonable rate, because we can't afford $200 3 times a week. And so, yeah, so we've been using that, and so, yeah, our annual financial needs are about $19,000. Like Donna has said, that we have no employees at all, it's all volunteer. And I think it's a wonderful thing that we have for the community and region, that people that are in need, families, certainly all walks of life come and use it. Some for short time, some we have consistently there, because their financial situation doesn't change rapidly. They either are very low income, or some of them have very little income, if not any income. So, yeah, so it's a needed service, and so we're here asking again for some support financially so that we can carry on in 2026. So as long as the community and the surrounding areas support us, we keep going. But so, yeah, we definitely need some funds. Is there any questions? Or did you want us to go through the PowerPoint slide by slide, or?
For sure, just, I don't know, same with you here, or?
No, well, we just wanted to.
Just tell us which one to be on here.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's go to slide number 2 then. So our inception began in 2006. And so, yeah, we've been around a while, almost 20 years, and we started serving at the St. James Lower Hall, which is right on River Road there. So it's easily accessible to people. And of note, our volunteers have been fairly consistent. I've been on the board since 2013. And before that, I was I was a volunteer. And Donna, you've been on for?
Yes, the last 10 years on the board. And prior to that, I was a volunteer when I, could manage it with a busy work schedule, as was Rose.
So, yes, so Donna is now our chairperson. Our previous chairperson had been with us for 20 years. And so, yeah, so she put her time in. So, yeah, we're pretty consistent board, I guess. And yeah. So the next slide. So a significant percentage of our community live below the poverty line. And I think as prices rise, there's more and more people that are falling, that are not able to afford just everyday living costs. And so we want to be there to sort of help them out, and wherever we can, and that is by providing some meals for them.
I'd just like to add on that point too, that we are the only organization in Peace River offering meals to clients. And we truly feel that it makes a significant difference to their lives. From the point of view that it is one less thing for them to worry about for a noon meal. They have that opportunity to come socialize with us and with other people there, enjoy a good meal, and possibly make their day a little bit more enjoyable, and
give them some hope.
Yeah, and give them that opportunity. We have been from time to time partnering with Alberta Health Services to offer some other services during that time too, on a volunteer, just strictly if they choose to participate basis on getting some vaccinations. And so we're trying to see if we can maybe add some value services to their time while they were there for a meal as well. So
Okay, so the next slide, the soup kitchen is an effective program which helps take some of the burden off the individuals. So yeah, virtually what Donna had been talking about, and then discussing our numbers. So about 4,000 meals a year. So yeah, we're definitely being used. And then the following slide, the one with the picnic. So the last 3 years, we have been celebrating National Indigenous Day in June and having a hot dog, watermelon, kind of drop-in affair, which has been very appreciative, and we're sort of getting out there and making people aware of that they're there and that they can use us if they're so needing. So the following slide, yeah, that's the one, with the people, with me holding a check from Sally Barkwell. So yeah, we have no employees. Where we spend our money mostly is meals. Kitchen supplies, which includes coffee, napkins, all that sort of stuff. Our monthly contribution to St. James for the power, the gas, that sort of thing. We pay for $500, which is really not much. We couldn't operate, I don't think, anywhere else for $500. Then we do have we have an insurance for the rental agreement, so just user insurance and supplies, and we pay a nominal fee for a website address. So yeah, so that's virtually where we spend our money. And on the next slide, we have our existing volunteer board. So Donna and Margaret Davey, who runs the Salvation Army Food Bank, myself, Sheila Lahi does the secretary, Sally Barkwell does supplying coordinator, so she makes sure that we have coffee, whatever, all the things that we need. Wanda Lauren does the volunteer coordinating, so any days we try and have groups that are self governed, I guess, so they decide who's going to work, but there is some days in the month that we have to reach out to people in the community saying we need people working at the soup kitchen, and so Wanda Lauren looks after that. And then we have 3 board members at large: Wendy Goulet, who is with the Aboriginal Interagency, and Debbie Schofield, and Marie LaVenture, who is, I believe, the head of the women's shelter right now. So yeah, so I think we're fairly well supported within the region, and yeah. So as in 2022, we received our CRA status. So yeah, so we're able to give income tax receipts. And so of course we have to follow the guidelines that CRA has set out. And so we have a board of directors, we have bylaws, we have quarterly meetings, and we have to report to them yearly. So yeah, so, and that's the following one is thank you so much for our support. This is a picture of the volunteers that we had for the National Indigenous Day in the park.
Okay, thank you. Great presentation. So let's turn it over to council for questions. I'll start.
Okay.
3 days a week you currently operate, and
Mhm.
just, I think you already answered my question, because you're scrambling to find volunteers. Some days you have to reach out to general, so
Yeah,
offering it more frequently is probably not. I just wonder if people are in need of food.
well,
3
yeah,
days a week seems like,
not enough.
yeah.
Yeah, well, the volunteers are certainly can be an issue, yes. And yeah, because without the volunteers or the financial backing, there is no soup kitchen. So yeah, so
Great that you can do what you do.
we do what we can do, yeah.
All the board of directors volunteer on a regular basis as well as doing their board work. So it can can be a problem sometimes to get volunteers, but we do our best and we have a number of very, very dedicated people, so.
So my question is, do you get other donations rather than monetary, like? Does anybody
In
like-
kind?
Yes, in kind, like.
Yes. So one of the regular donators, I guess, is KFC. And so weekly we get boxes. Some of them are bigger than others, and depending on the week. Yeah, so that we do give out a lot of chicken. So we just give it out by the small bagful, and I'm sure that kind of carries them over. And of course, myself, anybody that does want to cook, St. James has set up as a commercial kitchen. So as long as you're following Alberta Health Service food guidelines, you can make meals. And so, yes, so we certainly have that done. And people that are willing to donate the vegetables from their garden, they certainly do that. We put them out and yeah, they're gone in
So
minutes.
you don't use them in the prep of the.
We can, yes. Yeah, we've got a bunch of carrots and onions in our fridge there right now, so yeah. But not everybody feels comfortable cooking, but I have done that in the past.
So I'm assuming that you look for support from other municipalities?
Oh, yes, yeah.
So
They-
2,000, I mean, it can be shared amongst.
Yes, yeah, so that's what we're aiming for, and try and get as much support from. Try not to lay too heavily on one municipality than the other, and yeah.
Yeah, any other questions?
I've got one question. Do you guys offer some food to some of the kids at schools too?
They're certainly welcome to come, but I think the school kids have a different financial program that I believe the government has on. But they're certainly welcome to come, and they do come. I guess our highest count one day was, I think, 49 with 24 children. So that's usually in the summer because the kids are usually in school Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Good question.
So, do they have to book in or?
No.
So how do you
No.
handle that?
How do we handle that? They walk
Yeah.
in and we tell them to find a seat and we serve them food.
The amount of food that you need, if it, from one day to the next.
Can be different, just like any restaurant. And so we kind of try and have backup if we need, but we we sort of set up to serve for 30 people.
Okay.
And
Beyond that, I mean, we do have peanut butter and jam and usually bread there.
we
fruit
have
available,
soup
available.
cans in the cupboard if we need, but yeah, we try not to have anybody go hungry, but.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Donna and Rose, thanks for joining up, and
No.
we'll discuss this at the end of our meeting and
Okay.
All right.
see what we can do to help you out.
Great.
That would be awesome.
Well, we appreciate your support.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, council, take a break. And reconvene in 10:15, or not much left of the evening. All right. 6.1.5 finance, item A is director of finance update. Josh?
Yeah, sorry. A few things, so I'll catch up. So you all walked in this morning, so I'm guessing you've noticed the new face sitting at the front reception counter, so hopefully you had a chance to just stop and say hi. But Mandy started with us officially last Monday, so she's still here, so we're happy to see her. Tax forfeiture properties, so I just spoke with the appraiser. I think it was Thursday last week. We're gonna set up a time this week to go out and look at it's really, it looks like two properties, but it's three. One of them is two lots, so we're gonna set up time this week to go have those
appraised, for lack of a better term, they're both gonna be probably nearly worthless. So we'll see what he can come up with. More than likely, it'll just be somewhat indicative of the value of land, less whatever it costs to get rid of all this stuff that is on there. So one in Dixonville, one in North Star. The one in Dixonville has been vacant for quite some time. The one in North Star has a squatter living on it, so we've actually went and put signs up on the building and everything. Haven't been able to catch the individual that's there yet, but we'll see what happens this week. So then, after that, we'll just keep those listed for sale, I guess, at a revised price and see what happens.
So would you say that the assets on there are actually,
I wouldn't call anything that's on any of these properties assets.
yeah, so you would clean them up or not?
What's that?
You would clean them up, remove them, or?
Me personally?
No, I meant the municipality, right?
In an ideal world, no, we would just make it a condition when whoever buys it, but. If it sits there idle or vacant. The one in North Star, the neighbors already aren't happy with, so if it sits in our name for any amount of time, they're probably gonna ask that we take care of it. It's just a kind of a fine line to walk because. It adds up in a hurry when we have to pay to do this, and I don't think we're gonna get. Enough money back from it that would even cover the cost to clean it up, so it'll come back to council, I guess, in that case for a decision. We'll see what the appraisals come back up, but. My betting is pretty good so far. Gerhard and I had a meeting as a follow-up from our meeting with Minister Williams with the. I think I got his position right, but the Assistant Deputy Minister Ethan Bain, and then Michael Menard from the Provincial Assessor's Office. This was regarding the Land and Property Rights Tribunal decision on one of the 3 years that Mercer has appealed, I guess, or outstanding. So just talking through some logistics of it. As a result of that, we got a few more contacts to reach out to. Biggest one, I guess, like it's easy enough for us to just put a credit. We had a mutual understanding. We can't go back and amend these tax records because they're 3 years old now, so that's impossible according to the legislation. We'll be looking to schedule a meeting with representatives from Mercer just to talk through it. They haven't reached out yet, which is kind of surprising. I guess in the coming weeks, it's just not been easy to find free time during the last few weeks. And then the other big follow-up is gonna be with a contact provided for the schooling requisitions. Because at the end of the day, this inflated assessment that was put in place also works its way into the equalized assessment, which is what all of our requisitions are based on. At least in part, so that still isn't even gonna be fixed for this year. So for 4 years, we're gonna be paying really what's an over levy on some of these requisitions. They've told us that we're gonna be able to figure out a way to recapture that. We'll see what happens as we progress further. North Peace Housing uses our equalized assessment as well. And really, when you look at what we've levied, we've overpaid them like $40,000 a year. And I'm making a bold assumption that probably that's not gonna come back to us. Not sure. Where I haven't got to yet is looking into the terms of reference for bylaws, I guess, that those guys operate under, and just seeing if there is a way that they handle large assessment appeals. They probably don't.
So at the grand opening ribbon cutting tour.
Yeah, maybe don't say anything in the prison. It's a work in progress still, so.
That adds up then, right? Over 3 years and also.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, they've only decided 1 year, which is ridiculous because it's the same problem,
Yeah,
so.
so we know what's gonna be.
We have a pretty good indication verbally at least that it's probably gonna settle about the same. So 3 years worth plus this next year's.
How about the school requisition, how much over is that?
Well, that was bigger than the senior, so.
Yeah.
It was 50-something thousand for the first year. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be tough on their budget, so too, right, if they have to revise it.
Yeah, so,
They'll probably just increase it the next year.
yeah, to cover it.
It should really just be passed on to
Wow.
whoever.
I don't know, the biggest thing for me is just like, what a headache when we fight over this 3 years later. This does not have to be hard if we just do it in the year that it happens, it would be easy. But this is still expedited in the eyes of the government, so it's the world we live in. So then we had a meeting I forgot completely about, but showed up to, with the anniversary program ladies. It was a good meeting, so Gloria and Linda were here for that as well. They just gave us a refresher on kind of the anniversary program itself. So they have their own program, and then what we do is actually just a program that's eligible for them to match. We are underfunding that, is kind of the biggest thing, so they will match up to $3,500 per applicant, as long as the eligibility is the same. And we're doing two, and we have for the last decade at least, two $1,500 bursaries. So if we were paying more, those students would be able to access more through this partnership program as well. They also have some specific areas, mostly medical related, that are through their program eligible for significant amount more, which we haven't really talked about or identified, so kind of baby steps, maybe just see what we want to do. But if that is something that council is interested in, it would kind of make sense to bump that up so that our students are maximizing what they're eligible for. But I mean, at 2 grants, that comes at a $4,000 increase to what we're doing right now. Big $2,000 per, so. And I will, if council wants to entertain that, there is just a templated motion there for you. Let's see, we have your postal study, remains to be dragging on, so this is, making life kind of exciting for a number of different reasons. First and foremost, bills. We're going into the second billing cycle now where we can't send out mail that's not local. So we've been trying to get as many people as possible to sign up to receive their invoices through email. That is not going to work for everybody. I would just maybe prepare for the fact that there will inevitably be people who don't get their bill and who don't want to pay a penalty because they didn't phone in and ask how much their bill is. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I would wager that I will not be. We'll have to talk about how to handle that, I guess, as they arise.
But I see, I heard that the post office is going just to rotating straights now, so we should start to see some.
Perfect. Maybe we can get some teachers back in on a rotating basis. It would make my life easier. But yeah, I think we're gonna talk about it again in the planning development side of the meeting as well. It's having some impacts to us, so we're doing what we can legally, whether they're striking or not. If we put something in the mail 7 days later, it's deemed received. But we know it's not getting there, so we're trying to do a little bit more digitally. There's some new things that we're hanging up that we wouldn't normally hang up in the office, just to show that we're. But when people refuse to use the internet, there's only so much we can do. And then just because I had a feeling someone was gonna ask you for money, I didn't have time to do a budget, but there's your council grant summary, so. You do still have some miscellaneous council grants remaining, just over $26,000. And then I hand wrote a note in there, but I was going through some different work and noticed that we made our last payment on one of our debentures that we still have, so thought that was just worthy of advising council. We've talked about that in our year-end and budget meetings, but that was real. That was the last payment made in September, so. The Highway 35 debenture, as it's called, which was before me, but I think it's what built and paved or rehabbed and paved the service roads by UFA in the airport, I think. that rings any bells to anybody, but. Anyways, it's paid off now, so that's cool.
Mortgage burning thing or?
No, woo, one less journal entry for Josh to do twice a month, or even. Is really all it is, and really it frees up room for debt moving forward, should we have to, venture down that path, so.
Is that 3.1?
What's that, sir?
3.1 million?
No, it was, the grant was just over $1 million. Sorry. Approximately 1 million is what it was. Yeah,
I did it, you're writing here.
yeah, it was a handwritten, that's the squiggle over the bar, yeah, approximately. And I think there is another one. Can't remember if we missed next year and then it's 2 years in a row, or there was, I think, 3 debentures in 4 years here, but to be paid in full, so exciting times.
Start again.
Start again, yeah.
Interest rates are low now.
Interest rates are still worse than they were when we signed this one back in 2010, so.
So just about 27,000 remaining, and that'll have to cover RMA and AMA as well, if we go. That usually comes out of council grants, right, for going to conventions.
No, then
No, this
we
is-
budget to send you guys to
Okay.
those conventions every year, separately. This is just for miscellaneous requests for people asking you for money.
Good shape. Okay, any questions on the finance update? Get a motion to accept it?
That's the easy motion, and then if you guys,
Oh, we could roll that into the same motion, sure. Guess we have to discuss it then, so.
yeah, if you want to. So right now you have 2 bursaries, $1,500 a piece. Your options are like, you could do 1 bursary for 3,500. Less people that you're helping, but you're helping them more, or you could just keep 2, extend them at all, or up to, I wouldn't recommend past the max.
So go 1750.
Whatever council thinks, right? It's at the end of the day. I mean, that's not huge numbers, but it's
They can get up to
in the wrong direction.
actually 3,500.
That's what I,
Per
that's what I would look, 3,500.
So
But divide it by 2 or?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, they'll match 3,500 per hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And if you get 3, you can do it, you know, say.
I believe it was like up to 17,000 if you're gonna be a doctor, so.
Yeah.
But for the average for all of their, just
I've got the
basic ones.
information. Or I will have it. Give it to you guys. And we can-
No, because of complained about 1,500 and all that, and then we can definitely bump it, but I don't know if we have to go. Jump from 15 to 3,500 is quite a jump.
Yeah, and that's why it's here for council to discuss, I guess.
I've been on this thing, everything's been, and I think.
And I was on before.
Yeah, you have, and Terry, but I mean, it's. Medical student, and to be a dentist is 14,000 a year, nurse practitioner, we're trying to get these people into our community. And if we can help them more, maybe they would, you know,
So they can get bursaries outside of this
besides,
directly
yes.
for, I know my daughter took nursing and she got it was a pretty big, it was $15,000-$20,000 I think at the time, but you have to return the service in the district, right? In the NADC zone.
Yeah.
And or else you have to repay it, which she did.
Yeah, I had to as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I mean, for us to give increase from 1,500 to 3,500. They're still eligible for whatever other bursaries for the medical field. Independent of this.
Well, I don't know, I just thought 3,500 was
Is a big jump. You're talking per bursary, so it's $7,000 and
15 for. You want to do
An
3,000?
increase of $4,000
Yes.
from us.
like 2,000 each.
Yeah.
I think that'd be that's a 30% increase, right?
What if we just bump it up to $2,000?
Yeah. Okay,
For them.
I support that.
I like seeing 2,500.
Yeah, so.
Well, this one-
2,500, I'll go for 2,500.
Will you? 2 for 25.
I'll make the motion. That's-
Are you making that motion then, or do you want me to?
Here comes one of those skills.
There's a lot of people out there that. So what did you want? 2,500.
Okay, any other discussion?
And that's what two,
2,
Yeah.
2, yeah.
Galen, are you following along?
Two bursaries and.
Yeah, I'm good with the 2,500. I think if we can do what we can to help them out and match it, then that's great for our medical students.
Okay, no more discussion, all in favor? Galen?
In favor.
So, yeah, that's carried.
Perfect, thank you, council.
Okay, so, next is your bank reconciliation.
Yeah, I don't have a copy of that one in front of me, I think there was one highlighted line on it. Just to, indicate that there was a payment we got that nobody sent paperwork for, so I have no idea what it's for.
I think we said that last time, did we not?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
this is a common thing.
Oh,
Just usually people catch on the next time they get their bill. This one, I haven't seen anything yet, so
Josh, are you want to find that first?
I was, but you can definitely ask.
This one, the 949,000, it's a couple of times here, and I'm not sure, in and out and up and down, there's 2 or 3 times. What is that, 149,000?
You would have to show me where you were.
Okay, so on the first page, and then the second page, first page,
All right, I see.
then the
So,
second, third page, and then I don't know what that is.
so that would be for. Transfers that was made and there was 45 transactions there.
Oh, so it's like a check run.
Yeah, but payments online, and the reason you're seeing it in and out is, we had a couple that got, just bounced back for whatever reason it can happen, just,
It comes
yeah.
back then. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So if you see yeah, one of them actually said EFT return.
Right,
and
I see
it's-
that, yeah.
Yeah,
And then maybe the process again down here.
yeah, and you're gonna see it again the next month, right, we've got a change in people now, so we're catching new things that can happen as we go through the process.
So just realize that, so it's on page 40, the one that's
Yeah, that's
highlighted,
what
that you're
Yep.
looking for.
Yeah, and that, so the reason I highlight that is. Like, when you're going through a bank rec, the exercise is to ensure that you've captured everything that's happening in your actual bank account compared to your financial systems. The only way I can capture that is to just do a clearing entry. And then we sit there and wait until we hear from somebody. ATB is doing a trace on it, but I don't know what that's gonna send back either, so. We'll see what happens, so it's just so you guys know, right, because it's something I've had to force in order to get this here. And then hopefully we'll hear from somebody. But yeah, just opportunity again to say, it's nice when people pay us that we're told what they're paying.
okay, any other questions on the bank reconciliation? Not get a motion to. Acknowledge receipt, accept the information.
Oh,
Hey, Councillor Sinski. Well, I was, when that came in, I was gonna speak up, but. Councillor Sinski, all in favor? It's carried. Thanks, Josh.
You betcha.
Page 2 of the agenda. 6.2.3. Item A, the Dixonville Fire Department, you have a verbal report. You're assuming that you.
That's actually Brenda that wanted us to have a discussion.
Yeah, I had, emailed asking this to be on the agenda, I think we had talked about it at the. Ordinance meeting maybe a little bit, just about having some public consultation on this. I would like to see. Council meet with, residents of Dixonville area. And the south, or whatever, to, just talk about the future of the fire department. A lot of people didn't seem to know that what was the state of it, so.
How many volunteered at this, if they would be a firefighter? That's what we're lacking, right? That's why we have that discussion. Was that told to them? That's.
Yeah,
And did anybody volunteer?
well, not that night.
So I
Um,
think,
There was mostly.
I mean, this is it's a major shift, right? If we decide to
is.
close out, so we can't do that without public engagement,
Yes.
right? And
I'm just wondering
We need a
what
date
should that
set.
look like?
well, yeah, I mean,
A public meeting.
Should we maybe then schedule or find a date and maybe schedule that early November or late in October still if possible?
because of the town manning and the teacher agreements both coming due, right? That we,
Yeah,
It'd be nice to do that before the end of the year.
just so that we can sort of get it within the budget process too, if that is the case.
so could administration, if we try to get that out there, some dates.
Well, we can look at dates, but maybe just also look with council if they can give us some dates that would work. I can.
So this would most likely be a evening thing, right, in order to get.
Yes,
people out.
yeah.
You know, but we need to. Start with us and.
It wasn't a budget meeting.
November 3rd and change.
Yeah.
Probably won't be a meeting.
What about the first week of November?
Budget meeting. Budget meeting.
So we have the budget meeting.
November 3rd is the first budget week.
And then
Well, last week of
That's what they,
October.
we can bump that back. if we-
We can also add the fire department after the budget. meeting.
in the.
It's just the.
Okay.
I don't mind that November 3rd and do it after the budget meeting during the day,
Well,
or bump the budget meeting back.
Is that what you were saying?
Yep.
Have it on Monday?
Do it the same day.
Do it the same
do
day.
the same day and go to Dixon.
So I would prefer if we do and I think we'll probably get more people involved if we do it after working hours in Dixon.
Oh, absolutely.
But you're not, are you not here?
For the.
You're here then, you're just not here when we, in December, right?
I'll be here
But
for that.
that's okay.
This is just kind of a pre-budget meeting, right?
Yeah.
But it's trying to.
We'll start the budget meeting a little later in the day.
We could,
Well,
but
this,
How are we gonna be? here
this
from 9
meeting will be,
four?
it's no, so.
Well, actually, Dixon was the obvious place to have it, right?
Right, okay.
Have it at the fire hall.
Yeah,
You know, room in there with all the trucks.
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably enough room there. There's a room upstairs.
So I hear what Linda's saying, if she's traveling from Kid River for budget meeting at 9, and this is just a pre-budget meeting, is it gonna go all day? Are you expect to be done by lunchtime or?
Yeah.
That totally depends on you guys and the
Right.
conversation. They've lasted all day before, or
Well, they
they.
usually do, right?
But even if it went till 4 o'clock, then we're still gonna be
Right.
a couple hour lag there, so.
It's a, I don't care.
maybe start a little bit later, maybe at 10 o'clock and.
That's sort of what she suggested, but.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then start the fire meeting at
At 7, it's fine.
I think
7.
7 would be better. Yes.
The
And then
earliest.
we'll have to.
If people are
Oh,
traveling and, you know, coming home from work or whatever, give them time to.
My big concern is if we have to wait for people to start the meeting at 7 o'clock, those are probably not the people that's gonna be. To volunteer to, with the fire department if they.
How many of our
that's
guys?
the way.
Oh, what were you
Just saying.
suggesting?
Yeah,
What were you gonna suggest? For time?
well, I was thinking 5.
Oh, earlier.
5:30 or something, but 7 is good, I don't find it, but.
No, I think it has to be
After
after.
senior people that are working,
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting at, that's why I'm rather saying.
I mean, it's not necessarily trying to recruit firefighters, I think it's just trying to let residents know that, hey, there's a potential this could close down and.
But you could also make it an advertisement of people come and sign up for the fire department.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
having a problem with numbers, otherwise we might have to close the type of advertising out there.
Well, I
We
think
scared
we have to say
tactics,
that
but we
because-
gotta be
Mhm.
really open and honest with
No,
people.
that's right, be honest, for sure, that's.
That's what we.
So, seven, works for
I
everybody?
think 7 is,
We got it, yeah.
And maybe we should also save them for our budget meeting. Yeah.
And I guess if there's some new counselors by then, they'll have to just. adapt.
I'll give them my book.
No.
No, no, it's for.
So we'll stick with our budget meeting at 9, just.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
make it later, 'cause
No.
if there is any new counselors.
There might be more.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, not even more questions, it's just there will be a little bit of a explanation of how things are laid out and.
I'm fine with that.
So the Dixonville Fire Hall meeting, whatever we're gonna call it. We'll get that advertised, especially on all our usual sources.
yeah, and if there's, posters, I can.
We'll make sure that
Just
we
email
put some
me.
posters.
Post it up.
Okay. Who wants to make this motion then?
I will.
Councilor Krasinski. Okay, we can see the screen, but we're just gonna acknowledge the Dixonville Fire Department discussion, and we'll have a public engagement and recruitment opportunity at the Dixonville Fire Hall on the 7 p.m. on November the 3rd. We should probably throw that date on there.
Yep, in favor.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Charles. 6.3.1 DPW report.
Yes, so a few items here for you guys, so. Attended the Water North Coalition meeting on the 8th. There's some fairly good information that came out of it. One major thing that council should be aware of. Is that we've entered into a stage 3 drought in the northern portion of the province. That being said, in the water bylaw, I want to remind council that once we enter a stage 3 drought, we limit the truck fills, all of the truck fills, to 20 cubes residential use only. If it continues into next year, we don't know what's gonna happen, but I just would like council to keep that in the back of their mind.
I just want to comment on that if I may. So at all of the town of Manning's meetings that I've watched online now, they were asking April a question about that, and she is very adamant that we do have enough water for at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
So maybe that is something that we need to look at in our bylaw then to take out or make it very specific when there's a water shortage in the reservoirs type of thing, but not have it just limited to when it's a stage 3 drought that we start limiting people, because according to them, there's still lots of water available. If I look at the little trickle down the Northern River, I am nervous too, but a year and a half worth of water that's stored.
That doesn't help Cape River, okay? Because we don't have water from Cape River, correct?
Correct.
So they'd be the ones that are definitely gonna be. I mean, we need to get it out there instead of saying, it needs to be told to the people. You need to say, hey, this is happening, you guys need to know. I know it can go in the paper, but to let, you know, I've been phoning our guys lots and putting things out on the thing, but trying to let everybody know, I don't have everybody's email either. I have a lot of phone numbers. So I've been sending text messages to let them know, you know, when the road was closed there at 10:20. I do that, but I don't have them all either, so somehow, like you brought up, Gerard, we need our communication. We need to do something, communication. And we made a commitment that we were going to let our people know ahead of time, when, you know, when we get something like this, it should be out there. Sorry, that's I mean, we've been attacked because we haven't communicated according to people properly or
Well, I think
whatever.
we do everything
We
can.
try, I know
but,
we do, but we haven't had, we
You know,
said
maybe
we'd have,
we need to look at that texting thing
well, I'm bringing it up now.
for certain things.
You know, the little signs went up there last year when the truck fills,
We didn't know.
you heard about it
Yeah.
immediately.
Why I'm bringing it to your attention now,
Now.
cause it's,
We don't need him being blasted for it because we as council haven't said, let's get this out here.
and at a certain point. 18 months of water is great
Yeah.
to have. But when you enter into drought conditions like we're in now. This is when we need to conserve and not be using it for industrial use.
And like, as far as the town nine, they fill every summer, right? So. For spring, summer,
Yeah, and it all depends on the river level and how much turbidity's in the water. Yes.
But again, this has to be coordinated with the
Absolutely.
town, right? Because when we kind of limited people, they just go and buy the truck and fill it from the same source.
Yeah, and I,
So that it's.
in town of Peace River as well. So,
yeah, Town of East River is a bit of a different situation because they don't even notice us on their system. At all.
If they don't rely on a reservoir, they draw.
And they draw straight from the river. But 365. Like they're,
oh,
yeah, they don't have reservoirs like what Manning does. They
Okay.
pull out of the river. Their problem right now is, and I haven't talked with them here in a little bit, but they, where they pull their water out of that concrete,
Their intake.
what an intake, or there's a special for it, but it has never been exposed in the last few years, and now you can actually see the intake, which is not a big deal. On the note of the Peace River though, the EPA is still engaging with BC government and BC Hydro to come to an agreement on outflows from Site C. They say it's very positive. That's all I have from that, those conversations. I don't know any specifics.
apparently a lot of the tributaries that run into the Peace River are like. Very
Yeah. So
dry.
on that note, like there in the province right now are 40 water shortage advisories for the river, Notikewin being one of them. 25 of those are in the north. So over half are up here, which is not great. As well, I did include in my report here, just the mandate letter that the premier sent the minister, so. Nothing too crazy in there. Was kind of cool as well. They're going to be doing a wetland policy amendment by the end of the year. And they're gonna include some educational materials and whatnot, which will be interesting to see. As well as a presentation from M2 Engineering on a wastewater treatment facility that they built in Grand Cache. Massive facility, and it was kind of neat to see the how they utilize the old structures and whatnot to to accommodate it. Any questions on that?
Well, so, here in Raleigh, I don't know what else is on that. That we had a meeting with, a virtual meeting with an update on the site C, what the river flows and exactly what you said, that their, Alberta says, no, we gotta do better, like their outflow is not sufficient to meet all the downstream usage, so. I think that they're gonna have to really push up that, and I think BC Hydro's kind of come to realize it, yeah.
It sounds like they are, and so. Like Alberta and Saskatchewan have an outflow agreement for rivers that are flowing from Alberta into Saskatchewan, but there isn't one with BC and Alberta.
Well, there is, but it's
Well,
a very low volume, right, so.
So they're working at it, and that's, yeah, I don't have a lot of info on that, unfortunately, he didn't, kept pretty tight lipped on it.
I think we're gonna make that PowerPoint available, do they email it to you, or does he use it on? You can reach out to it, there's some pretty good charts about requirements and outflows and.
So the last time we had trouble with, the reservoirs at the truck hills being drained, that was during spring.
Yes.
Spring,
Correct.
so hopefully now we'll have enough time to notify everyone. of the drought.
And I mean, it could all be a moot point, because we could get 20 feet of snow this winter, and the rivers and everything gets replenished and
And I
everything's
think
good.
that could be stated in the notification,
Oh, for sure.
like just a warning kind of thing.
I mean, we're getting to that time of year where the winter work camps show up now. And they, they may be looking for a source of water and, not with the stage 3.
Yeah, like we don't, not that I know of. Like I haven't heard of any camps coming in. Well, there is some up in Keg River, I do believe.
Well, I didn't know
his name. That?
Water's up in places,
Yeah.
the people that's.
Yeah.
Like we know there's logging camps every winter, and I don't know where they go for their water, but I'm assuming.
Well, I know there's a harvest camp on County 4 Road right now, and I'm sure they're pulling from Clear Hills County. Hines Creek area, maybe, I don't know. Nothing from us that I'm aware of. But it's just, yeah, something that we need to be cognizant of, that if we don't have a very good winter.
But maybe wouldn't hurt to reach out to West Fraser and Mercer and just say, just so your contractors are aware, we're in the stage 3 now, and we're limiting to whatever your volumes are gonna limit them to. Dixonville maybe not so bad because they have maybe a better supply coming out of the river, but if it's coming, from Hotchkiss or Manning or North Star, Cuban.
Oh, for sure, yeah, I can definitely reach out to them.
I would think just to put it on their radar, right, that
Absolutely.
you might have to go to Dixonville and get the water rate, so.
It's a captain thing.
Yeah, he's already done it.
Yeah, I just got a question. Paul, are you listening to us? Paul? You should know if you received any, did you receive any, development permit applications for camps?
I don't think the logging.
Pretty sure there was one, but it's a small camp up in the Keg River area.
But the logging camps actually require that, I don't think they ever have, I think they just go in their logging blocks and, you issue them for logging camps, like for.
No, Paul, we can't hear you.
Well, just follow up with her, see if she has received any.
She says we do not currently have any new camp applications.
No,
Thank you.
I'll guarantee you that they will be out there, all the logging camps, so I don't know what time they put their application in, but certainly they do. Okay. Yeah, it's frightening how dry it is right now. I've lived here my whole life and I don't remember it being this dry.
No, it's definitely not a great thing, that's for sure. Any other questions on that topic? So we did, we were selected for an audit for our 2024 annual return for SML 40085, more commonly known as the Sunny Valley Pit. He had a meeting with them here last week, Thursday, I believe, and oddly enough, there are 5 people in the Crown Land Audit Unit. So for all the leases in Alberta, there's 5 people that monitor all the annual returns and stuff. They picked us at a completely random, so that was interesting. It's fairly routine, just go over what we've used out of Sunny Valley and shouldn't be any issues on that one. So road complaints. This is a fun one. They increased a bit here in the south. Mainly is due to us re-graveling down there. There is fresh gravel, like we just said, it is dry. And they're having a kind of a hard time keeping up, but we're doing our best to try to address the issues. A lot of the issues are around intersections, rail crossings, washboard, whatnot, and that's to be expected. Drivers slamming on brakes, coming up to an intersection, or hammering on the gas, etc. Bear Creek Road, I know we've kind of talked about this a little bit. The issues there are a little bigger now that we can deal with. We sought out some quotes here. So as it says in the report here, we've only spent 27,000 this year on our asphalt road maintenance, which leaves $46,915. To get a company in to cut out the patches, replace the base course, and then reapply asphalt is $31,290. That is the preferable option.
Say that number again.
31,290. There is a second option that they cut out the existing asphalt, reuse the existing gravel that is in there, and then reapply the or the asphalt, sorry, and that's $21,945. So it's about a $10,000 difference. Preference and my recommendation would be to go with replacing your base course that's existing in there, because it's likely to fail again if you don't. This is well within our Gerhardt's signing authority, but we wanted to bring this to council to see if this is a investment into the infrastructure we want to do. I'll leave it free.
I think the residents have been complaining about it since August. It's been an issue before that. I think they need something. Like, that's got to be awful to try and grade this fall, or like this winter when the snow comes. Like, everything's just gonna sink in there. So I think we need to do something. I'm a little disappointed that it's just come to this point now. We're in October, and I brought it up a while ago, and I think that they deserve to have something fixed.
Can it be fixed this fall?
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll have it done this year. We just, yeah. It's a little more than what we can do in-house, right?
So an extra 10,000, I mean. We pay now or we pay later, probably is what you're saying, that if we go the cheaper route.
Yes.
We're gonna be redoing it in 5 years or 3 years or
Yeah.
next year.
No, exactly.
Okay.
So that,
A question that I had, Charles, is we talked about just doing like a patch. So if we don't replace that base course and we just patch it for now, is that turning it back to gravel still an option that could happen in a couple years? Like if we just shorten up that time frame, like if it is only going to buy us a couple years?
if we don't replace the base course, you'd probably buy you 2 years. If you do the base course, you're gonna get at least 5.
Just
So
because
then that-
just because the residents were on board with turning it back to gravel, they had no problem with that. So
Yeah.
my thinking is just if we save the 10,000 now, buy us a couple years to build up the money to get that back to gravel, then that kind of makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, if that's what council wishes to do.
No,
Cause turning it back to gravel is gonna be probably $200,000, give or take. It's not gonna be cheap.
I just think long term maintaining that pavement for 1 kilometer for when all the connecting roads are gravel, it just kind of seems ridiculous now.
For an expenditure
But-
of 32,000 will buy us 5 years. Say,
or more.
Or more, yeah, potentially, yeah. Then, yeah, you're still within budget, the money's there.
And I guess it probably is like a less used road, so it maybe would get us later on the 5 years if we did replace the base course, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll finish your report, we'll roll that into a motion as well. And if you need that, or it's already budgeted for us.
So it's already budgeted, you're already got the spending authority, so. Not too worried about that, just wanted to get council's input on it, so. Okay, so we had, our Northern Lights Regional Water System and South Regional Water System audits, and they both passed. I don't know if anybody had a chance to review them or not, there's not a whole lot there, but, the one thing, and it was just kind of a oversight on environment side, was the source water for South Regional, so it's not a Kewen. There's actually the Peace River. So not everything looked accurate to me. Cool. And Sunny Valley Pit, we are finally done crushing. I believe everything is out of the pit as of this weekend, but might be a couple odds and ends in there that they're gonna come get rid of. Finalizing it here over the next week or so, just getting the last progress payment done and just waiting on engineers for that, so. One more thing. And this I will need a motion on. So we talked 2 meetings ago about an illegal approach. East of the office here. And the individual has since put in an application to get an approach. As per policy, 1 approach per parcel a quarter unless severed by an actual creek or whatnot. So I would like to get council's opinion on if we should approve a secondary approach. The issue is, or one of the other issues is where the current approach is that is sufficient and the 1 approach for that home. The minimum distance is 154 meters between approaches. That distance would put the new approach that has been applied for in the middle of the dugout, but he can go further to the east. Sorry, west. Yes, west. The end of the day, it's here for council consideration to approve or deny it.
So, just to be clear, so the 154 meters, if he stuck with that, would move it further west than what he would prefer it. Where he prefers it would be under that 154 meters.
Yes, it's 72 or 74 meters. So it's still too close. So,
But then to move it further west, then
I
that
mean,
defeats the purpose of him, what
yeah,
he wants it there for. I get you. Well, for whether to put it in, I would say council has the ability to say, go with the 75 meter spacing or whatever it is. I don't know if that's gonna be a hardship on your crews or for, for grading and mowing and.
it is, but
But I'm just looking where I live, there's the Tower Road that's, I mean, that's pretty close, right? I don't think that, is that 70, is that 150 or?
I'm
I
not
don't think
going
so.
to sit here and say that all
No,
approaches
no,
need that,
totally.
but.
I'm just trying to visualize.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it definitely wouldn't be the first one
Absolutely.
that's less than 150 meters.
And like I said, 2 meetings ago, I can't do anything that's been built already.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to visualize
Yeah.
the distance in my opinion, for me.
That would be an application for next summer's culvert installs or.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I can't approve that, and I'd like council
So
to.
what happened to the one that he put in, is that been removed now?
It should be gone by this Wednesday.
So this potential approach is be paid for by the county.
Well. So the way the current schedule of fees is, and bylaws, or that policy, sorry, is. If they're going to install it themselves, they give us $250. Once that approach has been installed by them, then they get their $250 back.
If it's up to our staff.
If it's up to our standard, yeah. If we install it, we keep that $250.
So in this case, who's installing it then?
Well, we would
For $250.
for $250.
Yeah.
Did you increase that? Change the-
Well, we discussed that, it just hasn't been passed,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
So there's report.
You want me to make a motion?
Well,
I'll
so
make the motion that I'm not sure what the
we'll approve the DPW report
Yes.
and approve the installation of the.
installation of the.
It's not one question, but yours.
Yeah.
Let's make a motion to finish. Then we can have discussion.
The pit belongs to Alberta government. Carpenter.
Okay.
You know why they're digging in there?
Probably just looking, what they currently have for inventory. I would assume for the future project that's happening.
That's what I was thinking.
Could-
And we still don't know where that.
Could also be because there is a project that's going to happen on Highway 35 as well. So they might be looking for asphalt aggregate.
Yeah, cause I see Nelson was, it's a main highway there with a bunch of gravel on the side of.
Yep. Yeah, so they're,
It seems funny that nobody, we're living here and we don't know what is going on.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that there will be an asphalt plant there. At the corner of the highway. Yeah.
Where's this going again, a Carnegie corner?
Yeah,
Carnegie corner.
Also, I
and
mean,
there's like I said, there's a pit being, the one way
for-
past Beefus's is,
further east.
yeah,
Yeah.
towards the river.
Yep.
And, they're digging there anyways,
You looked at it.
No, they bypassed us.
They've bypassed it, it's the kind
Ruined a nice piece of land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's lots of potential projects, right? There's a bridge, there's Highway 35 overlay.
Yeah, there's lots of things that they could be.
So, yeah.
and they can just go in there without saying anything to a municipality. That was my question, like, this is the government's pit, it's not our pit, it's nobody's pit in Parkview. They don't even tell you.
They don't have to tell us anything.
No.
We just end up hearing things because like when they were planning to put their plant at the corner of 35 and 695. They were slightly concerned that they might not have enough room. So they wanted to take our fence down and expand a little bit, and we're fine with that as long as they put it back in as good or better condition. But by the sounds of it, they don't need to do that anymore. They're not concerned, so. I'm not really sure what's going on anymore, cause I'm out of
It
the
seems
loop.
like they can do whatever they want.
Just one thing too, Mrs. Tupper, can you put in that motion and
Yeah.
approve an approach on roll 312-390? Yeah.
I just have a question for council on this, back to this approach, wouldn't it make more sense to approve an approach after we do our scheduled things? For right now, we'd be still going with our $250 hurricane. We do this now.
I mean, he's put the application in, so it's kind of a weird area, I think.
So it won't be done until next, what are you gonna do, but like,
We might get it done this year, but
Has he paid for the application?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I guess it doesn't matter, it's one approach.
Yeah, it's,
It's good.
yeah.
I mean, the motion?
Yeah, Councillor Declan, so, yeah, the schedule fees, whatever is in place at the time of doing it, that's what applies, or is it from the application to submit it? I guess
I'm assuming when the application is
Right.
submitted.
we can tack it on later.
Yeah,
Just have one.
it's just not a fair thing to do, right?
So when we approve this, that means, are we gonna let people know about the drought and stuff? Communication again? That's all I'm concerned about, because I don't want us to end up. Finding what happens.
Well, I don't know, we need a motion for that, I think that the administration will
Yeah, we'll just,
communicate
Communicate.
Sure, because. Yeah.
that we're in a stage 3 and water conservation is important, wherever you want to work that, so.
Just a question on that, Jay, so are we also gonna say that in that same advertisement that we are gonna limit them using the water like what we have in our current bylaw, or?
We may.
I think, we have to say there's a possibility we will, if we don't get the precipitation this winter.
Well, yeah, depending on the reservoir levels, right, Cape River and having.
I think we need to say that.
Okay,
Just to give them a warning.
we have a motion standing here, acknowledge receipt of the DPW report, accept the information and approve the approach of role as listed there, 31-23-90. Any further questions? All in favor? That's carried. So Charles, we'll just, give you a bit of a break here. We'll adjourn this meeting. We'll go to our Municipal Planning Commission meeting, scheduled to start at 11. Hi, Paul.
Good morning. Can you, sorry, Terry, can you just clarify what the decision was for Bear Creek?
Motion?
Yeah, like what was the consensus on Bear Creek? I kind of lost the conversation in and out when everybody was talking.
It's within budget, so Charles will do what he feels is best, which will probably be go down to the base option.
replace the base floors, yeah.
So no motion is required then, because he does have budget to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to make sure I was clear. And then I put my hand up, but I guess you guys can't see me. And I just wanted to say to Charles and his staff, I did put it in my ward report, but at our PRAMP AGM, they like wanted to make sure that I passed along kudos to you and your staff for the whole installation of the purple air. You guys were the easiest to work with and the quickest, and they really appreciated it. So huge shout out to you guys for that.
Awesome, thank you for so much.
You made him blush.
Yeah.
See, I'm not always cranky.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call the NPC meeting to order at 11. Adoption of the agenda, I get a motion to that. Councillor Reese, all in favor, carried. Minutes from our last NPC meeting. Any discussion? If not, get a motion to accept them. Councillor Sinski, all in favor, carried. Planning and development, there's 2 development permits that have been issued. Need a motion to. What do we do with that? They're all the reissues, I think. Yeah,
Just accept
to accept the receipt of the permits, yeah. Yeah. Now, two hands up, all the, Councillor Decken. Okay, Councillor Decken, all in favor? Carried. Development permits issued, there's none. So.
That's it.
So we did have a question, I think you texted with Eric that been no development permits for camps, work camps.
We haven't received any for 2025. From conversation with ISL, I believe there was one that was approved in 2024 that had some delays that might be happening in 2025, but I will follow up with them on Thursday for that. No applications yet.
It's just, we're having some concerns with State Street drought, about that issue of urbanization, so. If
Absolutely,
somebody wants to put in a 500-man work camp, they better be thinking about water.
definitely, yeah. But right now, no new applications.
I mean, even a 50-man work camp goes through a lot of water, so,
Mhm.
okay. Meeting adjourned
Perfect.
at 11:13.
Thank you. You too.
That'll be their last time.
Okay, back to our regular meeting. And 6.3.2 under the others have item A was a county sponsored calcium for Sunny Valleys, and this has been an ongoing discussion. What do you got for us, Charles?
Yes, so 2 meetings ago, council wanted to do county sponsored calcium for Sunny Valley Road at the intersections and residents. It's totaled up to do 10 kilometers worth, which will come at a cost of $70,000. Just looking for a motion from council. Yes.
So to do those intersections and those residents, which are all currently occupied, I guess, they're not just vacant.
So
It'd be
it's
roughly 70 grand.
18 residents and 15 intersections.
And is there any hauling planned out of Sunny Valley now that we got all that nice gravel crush there next year?
No, we're just gonna leave it. No. Yes, we will be hauling out of there next year
Right.
for Hawkins.
So. To me, it's kind of a no-brainer that we have to do this, right? If we're gonna be hauling out of there.
Yeah, but so the discussion was along the lines of we wanted to do this every year. Even if we're not.
Other companies down there with gravel, that are gravel homes should have to pay something for it.
And they are supposed to provide dust control, but as we have come to learn.
Send them a bill. Let me do it,
Mhm.
or something, I don't know. So that's, yeah, it's not really fair.
So they're gravel.
Their gravel levy though as well, remember, so they are contributing however you want to determine what they're contributing to, but.
Plus, most of them are ratepayers, or not all of them, but a lot of them are ratepayers.
We were putting calcium on the entire road at one time, not every year. I mean, this is a. So we, since it's over how. I think it's a no-brainer to do it on a year when we're all sure.
Yeah, I think have the same discussion next year, right? I mean, and see where we're at. I mean, do we do it every year? Yeah, hopefully, but, maybe we have to review that gravel levy if that's. a
We
concern.
cannot change that.
Okay,
We don't have,
That's
correct me if I'm
provincial.
wrong, that's provincially
Provincially
set.
Yeah, but this, if I think they said a maximum. off the top of my head.
because really, if we do this next summer, which I feel we should, then the private contractors are kind of getting a free ride for dust control, which, I mean, great for them, I guess, but,
Which they usually were anyway.
well,
They have been, now.
you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, now they don't have to try, ride somewhere and say, oh, we're not doing anything.
Yeah, you can't change it, it's a maximum, and we're set just equal to whatever the province puts it at.
What is the maximum?
40 cents per ton of grain,
And what do we,
40 cents.
40, there used to be 2 bits at one time, but,
So is there any other road in the county similar to the Sunny Valley with the traffic and the dust? Is there that we're not?
Our resource roads, so Smith Mills Road, Salt Lake Road,
satellite yard,
Yeah,
Satellite Yard, yeah, there's
so there's,
others.
both of them.
Are we doing that whole road thing?
No,
That's not also just the intersections and,
but the industry pays for that,
So yes,
on Smith Mill Lane.
on Smith.
Pays with the council, so
Yep.
why don't we try to do that for this?
I think next year, do this, and then the following year,
Will they be not
same discussion again,
Yeah, well, we'll be hauling out of there the next 2 years.
the next 2 years.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna build a stockpile again. Right, like
I'm gonna crunch some numbers on that.
mhm.
I don't know if it really brings us any cost savings.
that.
I do, if we do, I'm gonna look at what's left in our regravel budget and go based off of that as to how much we bring up to Notikewin. But if there's not really any cost savings to us, then.
Yeah,
I think, and then I think in the meantime, we should, maybe research what other municipalities do. That would help us decide, but. It'd be good to have some different information.
those, 18 residents, does that include that church?
Yes, it does, actually, yeah. Cause that's, so in that spot, like there's a few residents there, so.
And the intersection is right there.
Yeah, so it would just, we would take. Take what the total would be based off of here, so. 400 for the intersection and 200 for the resident. And just make it a nice big long strip there.
Okay, any other questions? Somebody wanna make a motion to, do the 10,000 meters next December? Okay, Councillor Reese,
Terry, was that for 1 year or is that ongoing?
1 year.
Okay, I in
It says
favor.
Every year.
Every year.
This would have to.
Or, yeah,
So you might wanna
Every
do
year
it
or 1 year?
For 2025, 2026, pardon me.
Well, we're hauling out of there in the next 2 years. Charles.
We can have this discussion again.
yeah, we'll have it again next year.
Okay, in favor of that.
Okay, there we go. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Addition, addition was item B, which I think you all got, the bridge maintenance tender one.
Yes, so. We had the tender for bridge maintenance close last Tuesday. And unfortunately, I didn't receive the engineer's letter of recommendation till this morning, about 10 minutes before this meeting. But I'll read it to you anyway, so. And this is from Randy Morton at Most Engineering. We have reviewed the 3 submitted bids for the above noted project received from Formula Alberta Limited, Bridgman Services, and Griffin Contracting Limited. Tender was opened October 7th, 2025, the County Northern Lights Office for repair work on bridge file 71430, 72317, 71023, and 72830, all in the Manning area. The bid received from Formula Alberta at a total tender price of $728,000 without GST. This isn't in the letter, but it is worth noting that that bid was non-compliant. They did not submit all the required documents. A bid was received from Bridgman Services Limited that had a total tender price of $547,700. The low bid received was from Griffin Contracting Limited with a total tender price of $271,900. No tender amendment forms were received from any of the three bidders prior to tender closing time. Project construction cost estimate was $260,800. The low bid was 4.2% above the project cost estimate. We attribute the high total tender prices received from the two high bidders to capacity within the contracting industry. At the present time, mobilization costs to the area as both based in Edmonton region. And in the likely plan to replace several of the bridge girders identified for repair in the tender with new girder units in order to expedite construction. Tender opening results are attached along with project cost estimate, which includes estimated field engineering costs. In analyzing low bid submitted by Griffin Contracting Limited, there is a very close correlation between bid prices and estimated unit prices, with the greatest variation in the traffic accommodation items at each of 4 project sites. The low bidder is an established bridge contractor with considerable experience with structures in the County Northern Lights and many years of experience in Northern Alberta. We are confident that the low bidder has the ability to acceptably complete the work within the allotted time frame and recommend award of contract 25-BR-Main to Griffin Contracting Limited for a total contract value $271,900. As well, in my report there, we budget every year for this, and this year was $300,000. So
That including or excluding?
excluding GST, yeah. Everything that, all the numbers I read you, that's excluding GST.
I don't think there's too much discussion there.
Yes, we have, and they've done good work for us, so.
Okay. If we're happy with that, so we want to make a motion, you're ready to make the motion, Councillor Thies moves to award to Griffin Contracting for the $271,900. Further discussion? All in favor? That's carried.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, Charles. Okay, Furl. Back up again, 6.1. Item A, administrative planning and development update.
Yeah. So usually we try to give you these updates every month. You didn't receive one at the start of September because I was out for a medical reason, unforeseen. That has impacted some of these numbers a little bit. So you'll see that ISL received the bulk of the inquiries kind of at the tail end of August. They're going into September because I was out of office for a few weeks. We are starting to have a decline in number of applications received, just with the summer ending and construction season kind of taking a turn down. But we're kind of wrapping up the applications that we have. So there's a lot of communication with ratepayers still, and that will be reflective in the bill with ISL because I was gone. You're welcome to look through those numbers there for however many we had in inquiries and applications and permits issued. One thing that I would like to speak to council about that's really impacting us is the Canada Post strike. Obviously, when this report was written, they hadn't changed to their rotating strike that they're doing. But with planning and development, we have a lot of documents that we need to mail. some to adjacent landowners, some to the applicant themselves. This is getting a little bit sticky because we can't send things to them. We don't have a lot of emails for a lot of residents and we don't have phone numbers. So for those we can, we are sending everything by email and sending a duplicate in the mail to ensure that they do receive it once the strike is over. We're also putting it on our social media. We're putting all circulation notices and development notices. We have a sign in our main entrance there right by where you pay, stating what's going on and if you're an adjacent landowner to come talk to me so I can let you know of development occurring. It's on our website as well. So I'd really just, if you're interacting with residents, encourage them to keep an eye out on our website, provide their email if they can. That would be wonderful. Obviously, a few of our residents don't use email. For those people, we're still trying any other means we can to communicate with them. But if there's nothing else, it is available online to them. And we do mail it because it is deemed received 7 days after being sent. It's in the paper. Obviously, not everyone's receiving the paper yet, but hopefully that changes soon and that could help us a little bit. But for right now, we're trying to just mitigate the strike to the best of our ability.
Just so council's aware, like some of these things that we mail cost us $1.23 to stick in a regular envelope in the mail. To send that with Purelator or somebody else is over $50. Which is not a compliment to Canada Post, please don't take it that way. But we're not gonna multiply our bill by 50 times to send things. We're trying alternative routes so as to not completely blow the planning and development budget apart. A lot of these circulation notices, we would have to send that 7, 8, even 12 times, right? Or
Yeah, sometimes higher,
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll have 3 pages of addresses.
so if that question gets asked, no, we did not entertain that idea. We have other means of trying to communicate with people that don't cost us anything.
Yeah, and we might not even use FedEx because you won't get it if you're.
Well, exactly, where are they gonna get it, right?
Yeah.
You don't even have that ability.
Yeah. Stuff that is, I don't think we sent anything to land titles recently.
Not yet,
No.
thankfully. We've managed to avoid
Yeah.
that problem yet.
Well, surveyors typically do it for subdivisions, but things like that, they still haven't changed their mind either, so they still have to take physical papers, so. All of that just increases costs to everybody, everywhere.
Yeah.
Blew me.
Okay, well,
But if anyone calls you regarding development, it's available online. They can always talk to me. I'd rather they call and ask questions.
I just had one question, if I could.
Yeah.
So now that you've been in the role for a little bit, like, are you getting any kind of feedback from the residents about the appreciation of having you in the office versus having to reach out to ISL? Like, I'm just wondering how that's been changing, because that's a big concern I hear from the residents all the time is they want somebody local.
Yeah, I've had lots of that. I've seen like the biggest direct impact on potential property owners. So people who are looking to move within our county, usually they're existing residents, and they're wanting to make sure what they want to do with the property is allowed. That's a lot easier for them to call me and ask. For some reason, they're just a little more comfortable calling the main line, so it works very nicely that way. I also work with a lot of our ratepayers in making sure their application is filled out properly in person. Sometimes having that communication face to face is a little bit more clear than doing it through a phone, because I can point exactly where we need information. So I found that quite useful.
that's why we created that position, because we needed that, right?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Pearl.
Yeah, thanks, Galen.
Okay, get a motion to accept the rules report.
Thank you.
Councillor Malavsky, all in favor?
Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, say yes. Okay, we're drawn to the end here, 6.62, community service, item A, the Going to North sponsorship request already, in October. Let's see, like the plan ahead, everybody. Great conference, I just noticed one thing, going to this conference repeatedly. That, like, we've been sponsoring that level. Between $500, which is silver, they upped it now. But we're one of the few municipalities that actually do that. There's, I think, maybe 3 or 4 considering they're capturing right from Greenview all the way up to Mackenzie. Maybe we're being too generous, I mean, you do get the complimentary registrations, which I don't know how much they're worth. They're probably $400 or $500.
I think I read somewhere, it's like half that on.
Yeah, $418 for the early.
I was kind of thinking like I'm okay with the current sponsorship level, but only if we have people who are actually interested in going to get the registration benefit, right? Because that's like about $1,000 right there.
Yes, so yeah, that offsets that sponsorship rate.
Yeah, that was kind of my thinking, so.
I mean, they do flash our logo up on the screen there throughout the conference, so.
This conference mainly for urban, no more urban.
No,
It's not.
no, I mean, if you wanna call it Grand Prairie, I guess what that's what you're referring to, it is themed a lot to them because that's where lots is going on, but they are, they do try to include everybody, so.
I think it's beneficial, so I'm okay to put the motion on the floor that we sponsor at 2,800 level and then get those 2 complimentary registrations that we can deal with at a later date when we know our council's locked in.
Thanks, Gil. Any further discussion? We have a motion by Councillor Shutt that would sponsor at the silver level, 2,800. Going north. All in favor? It's carried. Next item B, another addition, Black Cardinal Economic Development Board membership. Which we talked about at our ordinance meeting and the other places maybe.
Yeah, and actually, you've seen this report before, it just got deferred to the strategic plan and preliminary budget discussion meeting, so it is just back to you really for discussion and decision. And then I guess just if it goes in the way of support, we've just added in here. Support is only gonna be useful. Sorry, I'll use that term loosely, but we're only gonna see benefit from this if we ask for something or if we give them something to do. So my only ask is if the vote is to support this and venture into this agreement, that we actually give them something to do.
And then I guess the other discussion is, do we do the whole municipality or just the sub boards? Because there's quite a price difference, right?
Yeah.
Maybe start with this.
You've heard my comments on this already multiple times. I think the price is better for one. I don't understand how you split us. So
That's a nice one too.
you will.
It has to be the whole.
Yeah.
I would struggle with this one. That's a big expenditure, for something anywhere from 30.
Well, we are. I'm just gonna say we are members of Frida, and I know they have offer a lot as far as services. And also Mighty Peace Tourism as far as tourism goes. So I'm not sure. If there's anything cheaper.
If I can just add, and I deliberately add, there's 1, 2, and 3 options there that we really need to fill in. So if council decide to go with this, we really need to identify at least 1, 2, or 3 items that we could get the benefit from this.
Economic development is so abstract sometimes, so you can't.
And if we look at the contributions that we made to, Mighty Peace Tourism, $10,000, Frida is 3,600. It is substantial to jump to $77,000.
And then it's different for us because we don't own any facilities and. So that makes it more difficult.
Maybe we have to start leaning on Rita a bit more. You know, if the 1, 2, 3 suggestions there, maybe give them those suggestions and say, you know, Joey, what can you do for us here, right?
They can do a lot of data studies, like if we have things we need to try and figure out, they can pull all that information, put it together for us. Like, I've talked to Joni about that. Before, and she's like, there's lots they can do to help us make decisions on things.
Yeah, maybe at these economic times, I guess, maybe we can go with what we got and try leverage it a bit more.
Well, the subtotal of annual costs we spend on tourism, or economic development is 43,460 already.
And then
That's
all,
including the Chamber of Commerce's move up magazines, $15,500.
right, move up magazine, output,
Yeah, I mean,
that's underutilized.
I think Black Cardinal is a great organization, and I think Misty does good work, but maybe we're just not in a financial position to take that on right now. But I would love to be part of the organization, but for $70,000, you know. Unless we got something really to target. So what are we gonna do? Say thanks, but no thanks.
Like that motion.
Membership. At this time, we'll leave ourselves open. Okay, any further discussion? Kalen? Motion is to acknowledge receipt of the Black Cardinal Economic Development membership report and defer from membership at this time.
Yeah, I heard that. Unfortunately, I'll be opposed to that one, but I understand where council's coming from.
Okay, all in favor? So 1 opposed, 6 in favor. It's carried. Okay, item 7.0, board reports. Nothing to accept the board reports unless there's any discussion.
I did just want to add one thing to my ward report. I got an email from Mark Boychuk, and he was in talks with Sagatawa, and it sounds like their funding for the winter is still not confirmed from the government. That's supposed to kick in on November 1st, so that's a little bit concerning. So just so that council's aware that they're out of the cold shelter might not open October 1st.
Okay, thanks. Any other comments? Otherwise, good motion. Okay, Councillor Sinsky moves to accept the board reports. All in favor? Carried. Info package. Ready for your review. Any discussion coming out of it? You have a motion to accept.
Looks like, the project, remove package $3 from, consideration from the project. It's a significant development.
They have, is that recent?
Well, they just said that they never did sign a contract with that conservancy, right? They were just, that was kind of.
I kind of heard the rumors, but I never really actually.
So
Yeah.
they made it public now that they're gonna go out for a RFP, whatever, like to any vendors, including Can-Do, Westinghouse. Yes, anybody's gonna be able to submit a bid on it once they get to that point, so. Okay, have a motion to accept the info package. Councillor Reese, all in favor? Carried. Delegation, soup kitchen. So I think we said we gave 1,000 last year.
So I think we paid it at the end of 2024 or 2025, yeah, so they're kind of the same thing this year. They're asking, I think, for next year's funding is what I understood.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You've got ample funding available, I guess, and cover that request.
So, bump it up for inflation or what? Well,
I would like to see us maybe do 2,500. I think it's, the cost of groceries is up and it's being used all the time. And if the shelter is not gonna open, then the shelter's just gonna come to us looking for more money. So this is maybe a way we can help for a lesser cost.
so that's your motion then, Caitlin, is $2,500 to the community soup kitchen?
That's what I would like to see, yep.
Okay, any further discussion? And that obviously comes from Council Grass, which we seen was in pretty good shape yet, so. Okay, no other discussion, all in favor? It's carried. Sorry, Dan, I jumped over open mic, but that's fine, you have to hear this motion, so do you have any questions?
So, Locarno was 70,000 a year for membership.
76,700, so, yeah, roughly.
Just about rounded up to 80.
Yeah.
And it's just a per person based on our population now, so it's 2130 per person.
Oh. And for the Dixonville Library, and that's the 50-year celebration.
Yes.
And just about the status, I can ask whoever, but it's going to be basically in limbo from January to September 2026. The charter.
Well, they're kind of in limbo right now until they know what's gonna happen in January.
So you're aware that the library is housed inside the school, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been there.
The community is.
It's a nice library.
What's that?
As a community, if something happens, they're gonna decide where they want their library by the end of December.
I'm not even sure who the president of the library is.
Libraries, I mean, the big things on the library.
You?
No, because I thought,
I know Dan Brisket was on the board.
so how many other ones are seen it with? No, you have not of them?
No, never.
Questions, would you take your flowers or?
Yes, I'll find out.
Okay.
I always mean to go there and then I just, because they're only open once a 2 days a week.
That's this weekend?
It's this Saturday.
I'll give you the flowers.
Well, I'll just pick them up. And
Okay.
Linda and I can bring them when I go down to the zoo.
Anything else, Dan?
Linda and I.
Above the 3 unsold properties, that's one in North Star and one in Dixonville.
The one in North Star is 2 lots, but it's.
2
lots,
yeah.
And I don't know if I should ask about it. Where's the squatter? Is that in North Star? Okay. And Charles, what does WNC mean?
Water North Coalition.
Okay. And we're at stage 3 for drought. And that, does that mean that truck bills for industrial use will be limited? That's a possibility.
We're going to educate people where we're at right now with the drill.
Okay, so there's nothing decided that, but
Nothing yet.
okay. Like you said, we might get a good snowfall.
We might, yeah, hopefully.
And that's it for me.
That's it? Okay, well, thanks, Dan. We're gonna go on camera and next meeting, you never know, could be the same council, you may have some cases here, but.
Not decided. Thank you.
Yep. Anybody need a break before going down? How long is it gonna take?
2 minutes?
You don't need either of us?
No.
Okay,
I can go off, right? Yeah, because you're right, it's fine.
it's okay, Rosemary.
I thought I would stretch it over.
got a motion to go in camera, Gary?